ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 ॐ ऋतगं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात्। हरि ओं सुप्रभातम्। ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 82 ॐ चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुश्चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावश्चतुर्वेदविदेकपात् समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गो दुरावासो दुरारिहा शुभांगो लोकसारंगः सुतन्तुस्तन्तुवर्धनः Indrakarma Mahakarma Kritakarma Kritagamaha. We were discussing this shloka. The first two namas we have completed. The third one, Bhishma Pitamaha writes, Sutantuhu. Who is Sutantuhu? Tantu means that by which anything is expanded. Anything is expressed and expanded. Like for example, a thread. A thread can be used to expand. Shobhanas tantuhu, when it is said, Vistirnaha. Vistirnaha means expanded very beautifully. Shobhana always indicates beauty as well as auspiciousness. And Bhagavan expands the whole prapancha so beautifully. Sutantuhu. Even in our day-to-day life, all of us, we work. And for what do we work? We want to expand ourselves. Is it not? From the childhood, we want to expand our knowledge during our childhood. We go to school, or right at that infant level, parents or brothers and sisters or even grandparents, they come sit with us and teach us everything. Sometimes they need not sit with us. On the go, so many teaching is done. Isn't it? When we go for a shopping, the boy or the girl looks around, what is it karke? Then there is one cat which is crossing. Then the knowledge of the cat is given to the child with making that meow noise. When we say cat, the child doesn't grasp so easily. When you make that meow noise, the child's mind grasps, it catches the sound. And then it relates that sound to that particular physical structure of the animal. Then you say bow bow. If you say dog, it might definitely take in. But when you say a dog with a bow bow, the knowledge of that particular structure of the animal is well established. Is it not? When the child enters the school, there is a beautiful chart kept out there. A for apple, then a picture of apple is shown. What does that indicate? Through that picture, the knowledge of the subject matter of that picture is getting into the child's brain, intelligence. So the child expands his knowledge of that particular aspect. And then you can go on saying until PhD. At PhD level, there is a very interesting point there. The PhD is always narrowed down to one particular subject, and the narrowing is actually an expansion of that particular subject. Think. So there is an expansion. There is a better understanding of a subject. When in an individual's life itself, this much of expansion is being made, is done, leave alone the education part, even at the family level, even at the neighborhood, even at the vyavaharika level. Everywhere there is an expansion of knowledge, there is an expansion of wealth probably, there is an expansion of family probably. All those expansions are what? A beautiful expansion for a comfortable living as far as the individual is concerned. Then as a society there is an expansion. Think. We can go on. To cut the long story short, a huge government is being established and the government has got its expansion. We also read cabinet expansion, they say. What is that expansion for? For a better administration. So all expansions are for betterment. Here, Sutantuhu, when it is said, Prapanchaha Vistirnaha, the whole world is beautifully expanded by Bhagavan for his Leela, for his sport. For him, it is sport. You and I may wonder, why at all this Bhagavan created this world? Unnecessarily he created all of us, and lo, I am suffering. I am suffering is our choice. We could have made our life beautiful, but out of our own raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, ityadi, we have made our life miserable. We should not blame Bhagavan for that. It is the same Bhagavan who has given us the intelligence. For what? To make our life beautiful. Can we? Yes, we can. Do we? Questionable. Think. Therefore, Sutantuhu, the one Shobhanastantuhu, beautifully, very, in fact, if you, I have the habit of, let me confess, I have the habit of watching all these beautiful videos in YouTube about the whole world. The scenic beauty, the beauty of the ocean, the animal planet, National Geographical planet, all these are amazing. One has to see that to understand how beautifully Bhagavan has expanded. And when you see that, you will know it definitely endorses this particular Nama of Bhagavan, Sutantuhu. Tantu Vardhanaha. Again, Tantu here represents what? That expansion, that growth. Same thought with a different name. Tameva tantum vardhayati iti. Vardhayati, to expand, to grow. Chedayati iti va. Wherever it is required, he is ready to cut asunder. Chedayati means to cut. That is why we find so many calamities. Bhagavan is expanding the beautiful world, no doubt. But when human being misuse the nature, nature revolts. And Bhagavan endorses, blesses that revolt of the nature through tsunami, through floods and through earthquakes. Why? There is a requirement for that, to teach a lesson. Therefore, chedeti iti va tantuvardhana. Through that also. Now, interestingly, one may wonder, how can this come? First one I can understand, tantu vardhayati iti, understandable. How can chedayati be vardhanaha? See, when a volcano, for example, a volcano erupts, the lava of the volcano flowing and spreading everywhere, finally that lava also becomes a beautiful land. In the ocean, you can again, I refer to the videos which I've been watching in the YouTube. The lava actually creates a beautiful land by itself. So many mountains are created. Mountains are destroyed. So many changes takes place in the geographical aspect of the world. Everything is Bhagavan's blessings. Therefore, he is called Tan Vardhayati Chedeti itiva Tantuvardhanaha. Indra Karma. Indra Karma here refers to what is called as lordship. What is that? Indrasya karma iva karma asya iti Indra Karmaha. Again, please excuse the spelling mistake there. The one whose actions are great, the one who has the command over his actions. Therefore, he is called Indra Karma. Lordship, when it is said, Indra means he is the lord of the Devatas, etymologically. At the same time, it also refers to that position of commanding. Bhagavan is the ultimate commander, and therefore he is called Indra Karma. Mahakarma. What is Mahakarma? Karma, at the same time, in a very beautiful way, the most wonderful accomplisher of great deeds. Acharya writes, Mahanti Vyadadini Bhutani Karmani Karyani Asya iti Mahakarma. The one who has accomplished great deeds. In fact, the very creation of this world, in its fashion, what it is. What a great karma. Have we ever sat down and understood? The Pakshi, birds, is very, very important for us, for our life to grow. How many of us have thought about it? Every Jiva Rashi contributes to the welfare of the whole universe. We, out of our own ignorance, do not understand the importance. If I say this, maybe most of you will disagree with my thought. Even a mosquito is important, which we don't like. A cockroach is very important. We don't understand. Every Jiva Rashi, in fact, in the animal kingdom, you will find every Jiva Rashi is the food for another species. Think. Bhagavan has to provide that food. That is nature. Think. If human being, vegetables are required. And people who eat, Gurudev used to say, in a very, very dramatic fashion, he would say, people who eat dead bodies at the various stages of decomposition, non-vegetarian food. Gurudev, certain dramatic, many people in the crowd who listen to Gurudev, many of them, I myself know a few of them, have given up non-vegetarian by the way he expresses. Anyway, that is his way of expression. Coming back, all of us survive on so many other things, other species, and a pakshi takes the seed from somewhere and drops it somewhere, and then the plant grows there. In fact, let me give a very beautiful pratyaksha example of our ashram here. Very near here to our ashram, there is one of our devotees' house. And interestingly, in her house, there is a beautiful Rudrakshi tree. That Rudraksha, lot of Rudraksha comes in that particular season, there is a lot of Rudraksha. And very many times you will find the Pakshis pick them up and drop it everywhere. And once a few such Rudrakshis were lying down in our compound also. We were wondering, where did this fruit come from? What is this fruit? And one of our devotee who visited there, Swamiji, this is Rudrakshi. He has seen the fruit. I have not seen the fruit until then. Then suddenly he opened and showed me, Swamiji, this is Rudrakshi. Kahan se? And later, after a few days, I came to know that it is in her house that Rudrakshi tree is being grown, and lot of Rudrakshi. And all our ashram, all the Rudrakshi malas are from her house. Everything in this system works for the sake of the complete, holistic development. Think. Therefore, leave the outer world. Look at your own self. Very simple, this structure, this body. Can you create this body? We say, oh, I gave birth to this body. It happened out of nature. Think. I did not go and do some biological activity there. It happened. It came out that way. Is it not? And look at this, every single part of the body is beautifully placed appropriately. Not a single mistake. Think. And every part of the body appropriately placed is conveniently able to work, function in the world outside efficiently. Think, in case the hand was behind. The hand grew behind, not at this place. How difficult it is for you to eat? Think. How difficult for me to work in the world outside? Think. Every aspect of Bhagavan's creation only indicates that he is the best accomplisher, the one who is amazing. In fact, all our lifetime, we cannot gain the knowledge of what is the capacity of Bhagavan. Think. Not even 0.0000 to the power of n 1% we can understand Bhagavan from that standpoint. Therefore, he is called Mahakarma. Kritakarma. What is Kritakarma? Again, one who has done all that is to be done. He has done everything perfectly. Again, we have to sit down and look at the whole surroundings. So beautifully done, isn't it? Every single activity of Bhagavan, take it in Rama Avatara, take it in Krishna Avatara, take it in Matsya Avatara or Kurma Avatara, or why only Vishnu? You can even take Shiva Avatara, Devi Avatara, Ganapati Avatara. Everything is an avatara to depict and teach. Think. Beautifully done. Therefore, he is Krita Karma. Another meaning is Dharmatmakam Karma Kritavaniti. For the sake of establishment of Dharma, he has done everything. Kritameva sarvam kritarthatvat nacha kartavyam. In fact, he has no kartavyam. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name parthasti kartavyam trishulokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptavyam vartaeva cha karmani. I have no kartavya, I have no duties to do, but I do it. Why? I become a role model and perform actions. Kinchidapi karma isi asya vidyate iti krita karma. The one who has completely, in fact, he has done everything. He has nothing more to do. And he has created human beings. The so-called Buddhiman. Within quotes, I have to say that within quotes. Why within quotes? How many of us use it properly? We ourselves don't know. Is it not? But he has created. So, whatever has to be done, he has done everything. Krita, he has done. Kritagamaha. What is Kritagamaha? He is the one who has authored all the Agama Shastra, Vedas. And Vedas are the main manual. Please note, Vedas are the main manual for everybody to live in this world outside. The way they are supposed to live. The way they can live so beautifully with the knowledge of the Vedas. Think. Therefore, he being the author of all the Vedas, Kritaha Vedatmakaha Agamaha Yena iti Kritagamaha. Continuing. Udbhava Sundara Sundoratnanabha Sulochanaha Arko Vajasana Shringi Jayanta Sarva Vijjayi. Udbhava Sundara Sundoratnanabha Sulochanaha Arko Vajasana Shringi Jayanta Sarva Vijjayi. This is a very wonderful shloka which depicts the beauty of Bhagavan. We all are aware that Bhagavan, what we see as Mahavishnu or any form for that matter, is a personification of the Rishi culture to help Manava Janma to connect with the Lord. And look at that beautiful presentation of Bhagavan. Every part of Bhagavan, every limb of Bhagavan is made so beautiful and very enchanting. So that mind which looks for some beauty is able to connect seeing Bhagavan. Isn't it? Now see how it is said. Udbhavaha. What is Udbhavaha? Utkrishtam bhavam janma. Utkrishtam, thus best. You cannot have anything better. When you say good, better, best, there is nothing beyond best. And Bhagavan is definitely beyond best. Therefore, Utkrishtam bhavam janma svechaya bhajati iti. Svechaya, one's own will, is called as Udgatam. It has come up. And Apagatam janma asya sarva karanatvatiti udbhavaha. One meaning is beautiful avatars are being presented out of what? Out of the very will of the Lord, Svechaya. And second one, Apagatam. Apagatam here refers to what? The one who actually has no birth. He is beyond the concept of birth and death. At the same time, for the sake of Loka Sangrahartam, as though with his Maya Shakti, he takes up birth, which is Utkrishtam Bhavam, Janma. It has always been the best. Every avatar of Bhagavan is so beautiful. The description is given in this very shloka. Sundaraha. The next very word says Sundaraha. What is Sundaraha? The most handsome, the most beautiful, which is the very wonder of the world. In our Janma, what we have seen, so many jantus and so many people here, we always find some lacuna. If not physically, emotionally. If not emotionally, intellectually. If not intellectually, physically. So somewhere there is some lacuna. But in the avatar of Bhagavan, in the presentation of the concept of Bhagavan, you will find there is no lacuna at all. He is the best and most handsome. Think of Rama Avatara. Think of Krishna Avatara. Shiva, even as he is, with a deer skin, with a snake as an ornament, and with Mata Ganga flowing down Bhagirathi, all that actually adds beauty to Shiva. Isn't it? And so many sages and saints have fallen in love with Shiva, and they could very easily meditate upon Bhagavan in the form of Shiva and then cross over the samsara. Think, the handsome beauty, which is Saubhagyashalitvat Atishayi. Atishayi meaning what? The one which is most wonderful. Wonder of the world. Therefore he is called Sundaraha. Sundaha. Another very beautiful nama. Sundaha. Here, see, in the first place, Sundaraha, the physical structure of Bhagavan is being expressed as the most beautiful, the most handsome. Sundaraha, and then Sundaha, which talks of the emotional aspect of Bhagavan. He says, Sushtu Unatti iti Sundaha Karunakaraha ityarthaha. Bhagavan is Karunamayi, highly compassionate. And we know this. Even though we keep shouting at Bhagavan, even though we go on blaming Bhagavan, we go on complaining to Bhagavan and go on finding fault. What is that fault? The other person is very good, you have not kept me well. This is all, and the best joke, we all know. What? It is our immaturity to talk ill of Bhagavan. We also know. But then, very interestingly, one very interesting commenter elsewhere says, we shout at Bhagavan, we blame Bhagavan out of love for Bhagavan itself. That is the best part of it. I can go and shout at Bhagavan. I have the right to shout at Bhagavan. Like how we also shout at our parents sometimes. The children shout at our parents. Not with hatred. With that, liberty. With the liberty of love. Similarly, we also shout at Bhagavan, no doubt. But in the heart of hearts, we cannot shout at him if we don't have love for him. That is the best part. And Bhagavan is such a kind, the one who will melt our heart with his blessings. So many times, in my case, though, all through my life it has happened. If I have to give occasions where this particular experience is there, then I have to talk only on this for the rest of my life. And if possible, another 2 janmas I can talk. That much of experiences have taken place. So many times, we want something to happen, we know it cannot happen. And we won't even know from where that blessings come. Suddenly the blessings will come, and we can't believe our own eyes. And there, what exactly happens is that inner joy, comes out as tears in our eyes. The joy, the happiness, the gratitude. Isn't it? And that is the glory of Bhagavan. Bhagavan will provide us what we require at the time of requirement. And to that extent, what is needed, he will provide. Why? He is Karunamayi. And therefore he is called Sundaha, who not only provides us everything at our time, but even melts our heart with love for him. Think. Sundaha. Ratnanabha. Nabhi of Bhagavan is where a beautiful lotus comes up and then Creator Brahmaji sits in that lotus. Ratnanabhi. Bhagavan, Creator Brahmaji has created what? Created the whole universe, which is what? Is with full of jewels and pearls and beauty and everything. And the seat of Brahma is where? In the Nabhi of Bhagavan here. And therefore he said, Ratnanabhaha. Ratna Shabdena Shobha Lakshyate. Shobha here means auspicious. At the same time, Shobha also means jewel. What is a jewel? A jewel is something which increases the beauty. Why do we people wear jewels? Nose ring, finger ring, bangles. Some people wear bangle in the ear also. Some people wear one big ring in one bangle in the nose. So many we see. Multifaceted we can see. Isn't it? All those for what? To increase our beauty. To increase our presentation as beautiful. And Bhagavan's beauty is his own Nabhi, where the Creator himself sits and creates the entire universe, which is so beautiful. Any part of the world, anywhere you go, there is something wonderful there. There is a beautiful jewel there. It can be in the form of a mountain. It can be in the form of a river. It can be in the form of a human being. Think. Among all of them, there are definitely beautiful jewels. Isn't it? How many of us do we have in our own Punya Bhumi Bharata? One Swami Vivekananda, one Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, one Ramana Maharshi, one Mata Amritanandamayi, one Parampuja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandi, one Dr. Abdul Kalam. Think. A normal human being who has made a history in the whole universe for his wonderful way of life. At the same time, simple living, high thinking. Such jewels he has created. Does it mean that all others he had made partiality? No. If there is something good, the good is always with reference to another bad. And it is an indication for that bad to grow. Think. The whole world is a jewel by itself. Every one of us are a jewel. Only the difference is some people recognize and use that opportunity. Many of us don't. But each one of us are a jewel in this universe. And that was created by Brahmaji, who sits in the Nabhi of Bhagavan. Therefore, Ratnanabhaha. Sulochanaha. Lochana, eyes. Sulochanaha. Shobhanam lochanam nayanam jnanam vasyayiti sulochanaha. Here, the lochana is beautiful eyes at the physical level. But at the intellectual level, vision is indicated. What is a vision? Jnanam. Vision with knowledge. I see this whole universe with knowledge. When I see, I can see Bhagavan everywhere. That much of knowledge must seep into us. And we should clear our vision from seeing all the things and beings as materials for utility. From there, we must improve upon, grow, gain the knowledge of everything being nothing but Bhagavan alone. Therefore, Nayanam Jnanam Vasyayiti Sulochanaha. Arkaha. Brahmadibihi Pujyatamaihi Api Archaniyatvat. Look at that beautiful word. Archaniyatvat Arkaha. Because he is worthy of worship. Why is he worthy of worship? We have seen it so many times in the other names earlier. Because of his nature. What is that nature? Sarvam Brahmamayam. Because of his overlordship. Because of his... Now look at again, go back to the same shloka. Udbhavaha, Sundaraha, Sundaha, Ratnarabaha, Sulochanaha, all of them are worthy of worship. Think. Arkaha, Brahmadibihi, even devatas like Brahma are able to worship because he is worthy of worship. Therefore, Arkaha, Vajasanaha, Vajam, Annam, Arthinam, Sanoti, Dadati. Sanoti means what? Dadati, the one who gives. Iti Vajasanaha. Vaja means food. Annam. And the one who gives food. Think. This whole world is surviving because everybody is able to get food. Therefore, the Upanishad says, Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat. Annadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante annena jatani jivanti annam prayantya bhisamvishantiti tad vijnaya. Go and study. What? Annam brahmeti vyajanat. It is annadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante. Because of annam, Jivarashi is born. Annena jatani jivanti. Jatani, the one who has taken birth, annena jivanti. We are all surviving because of food. 3 days, 1 day is sufficient actually. But in case you are very, very capable, 3 days you stop eating. One vrata for Ramanavami or for Krishna Janmashtami or Navaratri. Navaratri 9 days forget. At least last 3 days. Try. 3 days. Nirjala Nirahara Vrata. Try. Ayyo Rama. You can't even open your eyes fully and see people. To that extent we will become so weak. Annena jatani jivanti. Annam prayanti abhisamvishanti. Where does it go? It goes back to the annam matter. And then forward, again it creates the atmosphere for fresh annam to come up. Therefore, Vajasanaha, it is Bhagavan who out of the process in the beautiful cycle of living, the whole world is processed to give anna for everybody, every Jivarashi. Therefore, Vajasanaha. Shringi, another very beautiful nama. Pralayambhasi Shringavat Matsyaha Vishesha Rupaha Shringi. Here Matsyavatara is very highlighted. Shringa can mean a horn or a mountain, it is said. And Shringi is one who has a prominent. Shringi is who? The one who has a prominence. In Matsyavatara, Bhagavan takes the form of a fish. A fish has its own properties. Earlier we saw in the other name. Every Jivarashi is useful to every other Jivarashi. And Bhagavan is called Shringi because he has taken the form of Matsya, and Matsya Avatara also is a very beautiful avatara. We know all about it. We have read in the Dashavatara. Jayantaha. What is Jayantaha? Areen Atishayena Jayati. Areen, enemies. Atishayena. He conquers everybody. Jayati, Jaya Heturva. He not only wins over them, he is a cause for others to win. Win over what? Win over enemies. What kind of enemies? Antar Pahischa. One has to win over the Antar Areen and outer Areen. It is so difficult. In fact, there is nothing called outer Areen. There is nothing called outer enemies. The real enemy is our own mind if it has not been tamed properly. And it is the same mind which will help us grow. It becomes a best friend. Manaha eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. Isn't it? And manaha eva ripuhu manaha eva mitraha. So many places in our Shastras, in Bhagavad Gita, in Upanishads, everywhere it has been pointed out. What? Mind alone is the cause. Bandhur Atma. When it is said, Bandhu Atma. Atma here refers to again mind. Atma is a Bandhu. But when we don't treat it properly, the same will become Ripuhu. Areen Atishayena Jayati. Bhagavan, when we surrender at his feet, he wins over all the enemies and blesses us with all the victory. Shri Krishna is the cause of victory for the Pandavas. Pandavas Dina, when they did not know what to do, Bhagavan Shri Krishna came and he protected them until the end. Think. So, Jayantaha. Sarvavit Jayi, one of the most beautiful, very deep meaning Nama. See, Sarva Vishayam Jnanam Asya iti Sarvavit. The one who has the knowledge of everything. Sarva Vishayam Jnanam. Durjayan Jetum Sheelamasya iti Jayi. Durjayan Jetum. Jetum means to win over. Whom? Durjaya. Who is Durjaya? Please note, just now we mentioned Antar Durjaya, Durjayan, the inner enemies and the outer enemies. Sheelamasya iti Jayi, the one who is the winner of enemies. Sarvavitcha Asau Jayi iti Ekam Nama. Sarvavit Jayi is a single word. Isn't it? Now this is the meaning of the Nama. Now look at it a little more deeper. Sarvavit meaning the one who has the great knowledge. In our life, we have seen so many people who have got tremendous knowledge, but the application, very many times they fail. Is it not? Why very many times? Most of the times. How much of knowledge all of us have got? We do have all kinds of knowledge. And we know what it is right and what is wrong. And still we do all wrong things also. This is from our regular standpoint. Look at it a little higher. Knowledge alone is not sufficient. It becomes useless when the knowledge is not translated into our expression in the world outside. The knowledge must help us to win over the situations of life. The knowledge should help us to win over the negativities in our own mind and in the world outside. Therefore, Bhagavan is called Sarvavit and Jayi. He is not only the one who knows everything, the one who has won over everything. Very many times we know our equipping ourselves is always with lot of flaws. We are not ready. In fact, even though we are given all opportunities, all technical know-how, everything is given to us, but because of our maybe somberitanam, laziness, because of prioritization wrongly, and because of attachment with so many things, because of aversion with so many things, all these contribute for us not to implement the knowledge which we already have. When we don't have the knowledge to say something is wrong, is easier, no doubt. But the world is beautifully made in such a fashion that the knowledge is coming to us, knowledge is being given to us right from childhood. We know what we are supposed to do. We know what we are not supposed to do. All this we know. Yet, because of our passion, Because of our lust, because of our desire, because of our attachment, demand, desperateness, because of all this, that knowledge which we do have becomes weaker, because mind becomes stronger, intelligence becomes weaker. When intelligence becomes weaker, even though I have the knowledge, mind takes the higher seat, mind takes the commander seat and drives away. Far away. By the time we recognize, we are gone. And then what to do? Swamiji, please teach us meditation. What meditation? Meditate on your own flaws. Very interesting thought. Please think over it. Instead of meditating on an unknown deity or something, meditate on your own flaws. Probably you will come out of it easier. Therefore, not only we have knowledge, we must also win over our own negativities, win over our own wrongdoings, win over our own notions. Such a person who has won over all those negativities and moved forward in his life, moved forward to reach Bhagavan, such a person is called Sarva Vijjayi, and Bhagavan is always a Sarvavit and he is always Jayi. Unconquerable. In fact, I may probably use another two words which may not be a right English, but it is interesting. What are those two words? Unagitatable. I don't know if there is a word like that in English. He is one who can never be agitated because he has got all the knowledge and he has won over everything. Therefore, there is no room for agitation. Unagitatable. Undisturbable also. One more name, Nama, comes in the same fashion. We will see in the next shloka tomorrow. Therefore, Bhagavan is Sarvavit, knowing very well, and Jayi, the one who has won over everything. With this, the 85th shloka concludes. We will continue tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om